Denise Coates, the wealthiest woman in the United Kingdom and the mastermind behind the Bet365 empire, just sent a private invite to Coco Gauff that has the entire tennis world buzzing. And no, this isn't your average sponsorship pitch or a routine endorsement offer. The UK Children's Hope Gala invitation hints at something much bigger about where women's tennis is headed and who's really pulling the financial strings. So let me ask you this. When billionaires start personally inviting young athletes to charity galas, is it pure generosity or the opening move in a much larger power play? Listen to this. Drop your thoughts in the comments because this situation has layers most people are completely overlooking. Let's slow it down and break this apart because this is wild on multiple levels. Denise Coates, who most casual sports fans have probably never even heard of, personally reached out to Coco Gauff to attend the UK Children's Hope Gala. On the surface, it sounds simple enough. A billionaire invites a rising tennis star to a charity event. Feel-good headline, positive vibes. Except hold up, Denise Coates is not just any billionaire. She's the richest woman in the entire United Kingdom. Her net worth is estimated at roughly $7.7 billion, and she didn't inherit it or stumble into tech luck. She built it by creating Bet365, one of the largest online gambling empires on the planet. This isn't a Silicon Valley startup story or old money royalty. She built a betting company from the ground up that now operates in dozens of countries and pulls in billions every single year. And now she's personally reaching out to Coco Gauff, not through an agent, not through a corporate sponsorship department, a direct, private invitation to a high-profile charity gala. That's not accidental, that's calculated. And if you think this is only about charity, you're missing the real story. Let's talk about who Denise Coates actually is, because her background matters. She was born in 1967 in Stoke-on-Trent, England, into a family that owned betting shops. Gambling wasn't new to her, it was the family trade. She studied econometrics in college, which sits right at the crossroads of economics, statistics, and mathematics. Perfect training for someone who would later dominate odds, probability, and risk. In 2000, she made a move that sounded crazy at the time. She bought the domain name Bet365.com for around £15,000. Then she convinced her family to mortgage their betting shops to fund an online gambling platform. This was back when online betting was still viewed as risky and unproven. Most people believed physical betting shops would always win. Fast forward to now, and Bet365 is one of the most successful online gambling companies in the world. It serves over 90 million customers globally. In the 2022-2023 financial year alone, the company reported more than $3 billion in revenue. That same year, Denise Coates paid herself a $270 million salary, making her one of the highest-paid executives in the UK. So when someone like that personally invites a 20-year-old tennis superstar to a charity gala, it's not just a sweet gesture. It's a smart business play wrapped in charity. And I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it matters to understand what's really going on here. Now let's talk about Coco Gauff and why she's the ideal person for this kind of move. Coco is only 20 years old and already a Grand Slam champion after winning the US Open in 2023. She's currently ranked inside the top 5 in the world. She has a massive social media presence with more than 1.5 million followers on Instagram and climbing fast. She's polished, confident, socially aware, and connects with younger audiences in a way many older tennis stars simply don't. But here's what really makes Coco valuable from a business standpoint. She's American, and the US sports market is the most profitable on the planet. Tennis, meanwhile, has been fighting to stay culturally relevant in America for years. Serena Williams was the last true crossover icon who could pull in casual fans outside the sport. Since Serena stepped away, there's been a massive gap that tennis has been scrabbling to fill. Right now, Coco Gauff is the closest thing the sport has to filling that space.
And companies like Bet365 know exactly what that means.
Aligning with Coco means access to the US market. It means access to younger audiences, and it means reaching people traditional tennis sponsorships haven't been able to touch. The UK Children's Hope Gala is just the vehicle, but don't get it twisted, this is about building a relationship that can grow into something much bigger. Charity galas are where real deals are born. They're networking hubs for powerful people. They're spaces where billionaires quietly evaluate future partners and brand faces in a low-pressure, feel-good environment. Now think about this from Denise Coates' point of view for a second. She runs a gambling empire that generates billions every year, but gambling companies live under constant scrutiny. There are regulatory hurdles, public image issues, and sports betting, especially, is controversial. There are real concerns about addiction, about young people gambling, about the integrity of sports when betting companies get too close. So how do you clean that image up? How do you make your company feel safer, more respectable, more family-friendly? You attach yourself to charity. You surround yourself with admired athletes. You create moments that show compassion, responsibility, and concern for children's futures. That's exactly what's happening here. The UK Children's Hope Gala acts as the perfect cover for what is, at its core, a business recruitment move. Coco shows up, she takes photos, she meets Denise Coates face-to-face, she's hosted by British high society, and she leaves with a very positive impression of both Denise and Bet365. Then, fast forward 6 months or a year, Bet365 approaches Coco's team with a massive sponsorship offer, potentially worth tens of millions of dollars. At that point, Coco and her camp remember the gala. They remember how welcoming Denise was, they remember how smooth and positive the experience felt, and suddenly, saying yes becomes a lot easier. This is how billionaires move. They don't just throw money at athletes and hope it sticks. They build relationships first. They establish personal connections. They make people feel valued before business is even mentioned. So when the contract finally appears, it doesn't feel like a cold corporate deal. It feels like a partnership between people who already trust each other. Now, let's talk about why this matters so much for women's tennis. The sport is at an awkward crossroads right now. Despite elite-level talent, viewership has been slipping. Prize money has grown dramatically. The US Open now pays men and women equally, but mainstream attention hasn't followed at the same pace. The WTA desperately needs new revenue streams, and it needs corporate partners willing to invest real, serious money into the future of the sport. Women's tennis and gambling companies, controversial or not, are some of the biggest potential sponsors in sports right now. Sports betting has exploded worldwide over the last decade, and these companies have serious money ready for endorsements and event sponsorships. Bet365 in particular has been expanding aggressively into sports partnerships. They already sponsor multiple football clubs, back major sporting events, and clearly have been looking for a stronger foothold in tennis. Landing someone like Coco Gauff as a brand ambassador would be a huge win for them and a loud signal that they're serious about the sport. But hold up, here's where things get tricky. Should a 20-year-old tennis superstar be aligning herself with a gambling company? Is that really the message you want going out to young fans who look up to her? Tennis already has a complicated history with betting. There have been match-fixing scandals over the years, and the sport enforces strict rules about players and teams betting on matches. Coco Gauff has been very intentional about her image and influence. She's spoken openly about social justice, climate change, and education. She's positioned herself as a role model for the next generation. So the real question is this: does partnering with a gambling empire clash with that image, or is the money simply too big to ignore? These are real conversations Coco and her team are going to have to face if and when an official offer lands. And don't get it twisted, an offer is coming. This charity gala invite is just the opening move in what will likely turn into a months-long negotiation. Now let's look at the timing, because that matters too. Women's tennis is coming off a year filled with debates about pay, revenue sharing, and whether the current economic model is even sustainable. Players have been more vocal than ever about wanting a larger slice of the pie. Many feel undervalued compared to their male counterparts. In that climate, a billionaire personally reaching out to one of the sport's biggest young stars sends a clear message. It says there is money available if you're willing to align with the right people. It also puts pressure on other sponsors who may be circling Coco. and it immediately positions Bet365 as a serious contender in the tennis sponsorship world. Another fascinating layer here is the international angle. Denise Coates is British, Bet365 is a UK-based company, and the gala itself is happening in the United Kingdom. But Coco Gauff is American, and most of her commercial value is tied to the US market. So this isn't just about visibility in the UK. This is about using British billionaire resources to break deeper into the American sports landscape through an American athlete. That's smart business. Bet365 has been trying to expand more aggressively in the United States, but sports betting laws vary by state, which creates serious regulatory hurdles. Partnering with a high-profile American athlete like Coco Gauff would instantly boost their credibility with U.S. audiences. It could also help smooth the path for future market expansion. And from Coco's side, even if a Bet365 deal never happens, showing up at this gala still benefits her. It raises her global profile, it puts her in front of British media, European fans, and high-net-worth individuals who could become sponsors in other ways. From a networking standpoint alone, it's a smart move regardless of the outcome. But let's be honest about one more thing. The idea that the WTA was shocked by this invitation is probably exaggerated. The WTA wants exactly this kind of attention for its players. More billionaire interest means more money flowing into women's tennis. What likely caught people off guard wasn't the interest itself, it was how direct it was. Normally, these relationships get built through agents, middlemen, and corporate sponsorship departments. For a billionaire CEO to personally women's tennis and gambling companies, despite their right partners, it also creates pressure on other sponsors who may be considering deals with Coco, while positioning Bet365 as a serious player in the tennis sponsorship space. There's also an important international angle here. Denise Coates is British. Bet365 is a British company. The gala is in the UK, but Coco Gauff is American, and most of her commercial value is tied to the US market. This isn't just about exposure in Britain. It's about using a British billionaire's resources to gain credibility and traction in the American sports market through a globally recognizable American athlete. That's smart business. Bet365 has been trying to expand more aggressively in the United States, but they face major regulatory hurdles since sports betting laws vary by state. Partnering with an athlete like Coco Gauff would instantly boost their credibility with U.S. audiences and could help support those expansion efforts. From Coco's perspective, even if she never signs a formal deal with Bet365, attending this gala still benefits her. It raises her international profile, puts her in front of British media, European audiences, and high-net-worth individuals who could become future sponsors or partners. It's a smart networking move regardless of where the Bet365 relationship ends up. And let's be honest about one more thing. The idea that the WTA is shocked by this invitation is probably exaggerated. The WTA wants its players attracting billionaire attention and major corporate money. That's how the sport grows. What likely surprised people was the directness of the move. Usually, these relationships are built through agents, intermediaries, and official sponsorship channels. A billionaire CEO personally inviting a player to a private charity event skips all of that and goes straight to relationship building at the highest level. That's a power move. Other players and agents will be watching this very closely. If Coco ends up signing a massive deal as a result of this invitation, every top player is going to want similar access. Agents will start pushing for exclusive events, private introductions, and direct relationships with billionaire executives. This could fundamentally change how sponsorship deals are made in tennis. Less cold outreach, more high-level personal connections first, business deals second. There's also a generational dynamic worth noting. Denise Coates is 57, Coco Gauff is 20. That's a 37-year age gap. But Denise clearly sees something in Coco that makes her worth personally recruiting, whether it's her social media influence, her ability to connect with younger audiences, or her clean, positive public image. That's the real story behind Denise Coates inviting Coco Gauff to the UK Children's Hope Gala and what it could mean for the future of women's tennis. If this breakdown gave you a new perspective on how these deals actually work, hit that like button and subscribe for more insider analysis. And let me know in the comments, do you think Coco Gauff signs with Bet365 or does she pass?